This whole Israel-Hamas war came suddenly out of the blue. And as a result, there's a lot of people that are beginning to say that it's some bigger war. It's leading up to a bigger war. Some people are talking about, in particular, the Gog-Magog war of Ezekiel 38. Well, in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to present to you the description of Israel, what it's like at the time that war takes place, and you decide if that war is even possible. But after that, I'm going to then present a war in Scripture leading up to the beginning of the end times that this may actually be a prelude to. Hold on to your seat. So is the Gog-Magog war, for example, even possible to take place? Is that what all this Israel-Hamas war is leading up to? Well, here's the description of Israel at the time that war takes place. See if you think it fits or not to Israel today. Ezekiel 38, verse 11. You will say, I will go up against a land of unwalled villages. I will go to a peaceful people who dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. Now, the thing is this. This is indicating in Israel that basically has no military. It has no walls, and they're dwelling safely. Does that describe Israel today? You know the answer to that question, and so do I. Yet some people are saying this war is getting ready to happen. It's leading, this Israel-Hamas war is leading up to it. But now I want to present to you a war that is coming, that takes place just before the end times launch, and that this war may very well, between Israel and Hamas, may very well be leading up to a very biblical war, the prelude to the start of the end times. So the day of the Lord is the end times from start to finish. I've got a blog at the website, swordofdavid.com, that explains in detail why this is true, why it has to be true. From start to finish, the day of the Lord has to be the end times. But before the day of the Lord begins, in Joel chapter 2, verse 31, it reads that the sun shall be darkened and the moon shall be turned to blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord begins. But what's interesting is that just before that sign, there is a war, and it is the strangest war you'll read in prophecy scripture as taking place just before the day of the Lord, just before the end times begins. It's the verse before, Joel 2:30. It reads, I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood, fire, and pillars of smoke. Now, what's really interesting is that those pillars of smoke, the word for pillars, depicts a palm tree-shaped cloud of smoke where it's wide at the top with a narrow stem. We know that as a mushroom cloud. So the war, and this is a war before the end times begins. It's a notable war, so notable that it's listed in Scripture, Joel 2:30. And it's notable because it's probably got some tactical nukes being used. To confirm that it's the war that the prophet is talking about, those wonders in the heavens, I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood, fire, and pillars of smoke. Those wonders in the heavens, the word for wonders is like a miracle or a sign. And I go more detail on the blog at the website on this. It's a sign in the heavens. So when this war is taking place where there's these mushroom clouds, there's some type of miracle in the heavens so that we know, hey, we can put our finger on it. This is the war that the prophet Joel was talking about. My gosh, we're that close to the end times beginning. Now, let's think about that. This war includes Israel. You know, so much of the Bible is about Israel. This war includes Israel. But this is the thing. Who else does it involve? Who else might Israel be attacking? Israel has nukes. We know that. And we know the nation of Iran is seeking to wipe them off the map, a second Holocaust. We know Iran is behind Hamas, and Israel knows it too. I propose that since Iran has built their nuclear facilities under mountains of granite and conventional weapons cannot get to it, that Israel may fulfill Joel 2:30 by using tactical nuclear weapons to destroy those facilities, and it will create the mushroom clouds, the pillars of smoke that are depicted by the prophet as they look like palm trees. And if there's some type of wonders in the heavens at the same time that is taking place, then we know the war of Joel 2:30 just took place. What's extra interesting is that if that does happen and that war is identifiable as the one noted by the prophet Joel, that it then would naturally lead to all nations, the United Nations, launching a peace agreement to remove land from Israel, which is the next step toward the end times. So I hope you found this informative, and click the subscribe button, and I'll keep bringing some of this to you. God bless you.